receiver unit when they're at 100%, and you can at least enjoy them. Houston, you can look at that defensive line and get excited about them. The team might not be great, but you can watch that defensive line play. St. Louis, you can watch that defensive line and the defensive unit in general. You can watch them and be happy. The Ravens, a lot of seasons you can watch them and watch their defense and be happy with that defense. The Steelers, they might have an all-time offense over there possibly. It's a lot of teams.
This is what I'm going to do to make you feel better. And this is just being truthful. The Washington Redskins are a way better team than the Cleveland Browns. And here's why. First off, you have Deshaun Jackson. They don't have a quality wide receiver of that caliber on the team. Second of all, now, a lot of people thought it was stupid as hell when Mike Shanahan drafted 2 quarterbacks in the same draft. Well, obviously, he knew what the hell he was doing. So you have a quarterback. Kirk Cousins is, I'm not going to say he's the best, but right now he's way more qualified than Robert. We can't call him RG3 no more. We got to call him Robert. Can't call him Robert. So, and you got Alfred Morris. You got a running back. They got 3-4 running backs that can't do that one man's job. So things aren't all that bad. And plus, things are looking on the up and up because you do get a first-round pick next year for the first time in 3 seasons.
We had a first-round pick this year. Sheriff. We took Sheriff at number 5.
Really?
This was the first.
For some reason, that's not jumping off the page to me.
Well, and then another thing. You got a team like Dallas that they might not be whatever, we don't know at this point, but at least people, nationally with the Peter Kings of the world and your Stephen A., even a fan on his level respects and praises that offensive line. So I'm just saying, man, in DC and in a lot of these, Jacksonville, Tennessee, the Browns, teams, the Jets, although the Jets do have a pretty respectable defense. But I'm just saying, man, for the fans out there that are supporting these teams that are cellar dwellers, the Raiders, although now they have Amari Cooper and David Carr, at least, your team can just have a certain aspect other than special teams or the place kicking game. At least your team can have something to be excited about.
Yeah, that's true. Just look at it like this. You got nowhere to go but up.
Well, I'm already. You spoke about him earlier, and I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of him, but I haven't had the chance to put together my podcast to start my campaign. But the Colts had the Suck for Luck campaign 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm saying play like hell for Cardell, man. I'm trying to get Cardell to DC.
I don't think that's the best option out there, brother.
Now, you know what? Let me hit on that before we get into this final segment because we're getting ready to get off of here. Mm-hmm. I forgot to hit on this when we were talking about the Buckeyes. Are you concerned? I'm a little concerned that Urban Meyer would have a 6'5", 250-pound guy running up the middle of the field on design runs. And most of these guys are going to be taking him out below the knee or at the knee. Do you feel like they're putting him in harm's way by having him run those types of plays, man?
Well, it's kind of irrelevant because of what I'm about to say. I'm 100% aware that Urban Meyer plays to win. He doesn't care about building up your draft stock or none of this shit. Urban Meyer,
and that's my problem with him.
He doesn't care. He's all about winning. So under this system, with him being in Ohio, it will never matter because he's playing to win. He's not playing to get to build the Heisman winner or none of that. He doesn't. That's all bonus. But he's not playing for that. He's playing for that BCS championship at the end of the season. That's all he's there for. That's all he wants.
I just think that's unfortunate, man, because like I said, when you put a talent, the arm talent and the arm strength that I see in Cardell, and he could easily let Barrett come in there on some limited possessions. I know they don't want to do the 2 QB system, but I don't know, man. I just feel like,
And I'm
and I know,
sorry, man, because I'm a Barrett guy. I'm not a Cardell guy.
hey, no, real rap. I think Barrett should be starting, but I just feel like that ball that comes out of Cardell's hand, when it comes off his hands, man, the first 15, 20, 25 yards in the air, man, I really haven't seen that probably since your boy A-Raj was at California, man. I mean, he throws a hell of a ball.
Yeah, he does.
So I don't know, we don't have to get into his career and whatever his how he translates to the NFL, and I'm not even sure I would really care to have him. I'm just saying it's going to be kind of hard to pull a quarterback out of this mix of kids that are coming up because of all of the running that they're doing. So I don't know. I just thought that noticing that in that game, man, and you just hit on it. Urban Meyer, he never really tried to fix Tim Tebow's throwing motion or get him ready for the next level. He said, get in here and run these plays that, I have selected for you, and we're going to get these championships.
And just so you're aware, this season, you suck for TCU's Boykins, or you suck for Cody Kessler out of USC. Those are who you suck for. You don't suck for none of these Ohio kids.
I might beg to disagree, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into the Redskins because I'm trying to be fair and impartial. All I'm going to say is if the Kirk...
Say this for week 3, if you want to talk about Redskins. They'll give us a shitload of stuff to talk about in the next few weeks. I guarantee it.
All I'm saying is this. If Kirk Cousins doesn't get it done, I just feel like at the end of the year, Jay Gruden needs to go, and the team president, Bruce Allen, both of them need to be out of the door. Because if I give you the groceries, I expect you to make a meal based on the groceries that I bought you. And I understand he didn't, RG3 or Robert, as you referred to him, wasn't his guy. But he didn't really show me a lot as a coach in trying to work with what he had and being able to adapt himself as a coach. But that's a discussion for another time. But I just feel like if he can't make it work with Kirk Cousins to some level, whether we're a 500 team or a couple of games below 500, I just feel like that's grounds for him to be released at the end of the year as well. Moving on.
I know we pressing for time, so real quick, let me just say this. Now, with the Jay Gruden situation, you got to remember when he was hired as a coach, it was sort of like he was the only thing left out there. All the good ones were already gone. So he was like a pity hire from the beginning. But I'm the type of person like me, I got Xbox One. And if you got Xbox, BMeeks198, hit me up on live. But when I play franchise mode, I'm the type that gut the whole team. I want to bring my people in, and so that way it's on me. If I'm playing with somebody else, people, you know how teams do. When a new regime come in, it's supposed to you're supposed to redo it. When you inherit somebody else players, it usually turns out all bad. Now look at Chip Kelly. Inherited all of Andy Reid's players. Just got rid of the last one last season. So, I mean, that's just some people prerogative. That's just what they want to do. That's what I would want to do.
I can't argue that, but Chip Kelly, I think his name carried a little more cachet than what Jay Gruden came into it with. But you make a good point. That was mishandled, as is most things in DC as far as the coaching hire and the status of the team at the time that we were looking for a coach, maybe we couldn't have even wooed a big name coach to the organization. But like I said, I just feel like if we go 5-11, 4-12, 6-10, I feel like the team president and Jay Gruden, I think we need to move on. Let's get into this last segment, man. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this one because me and my usual boxing contributor, my brother, we'll try to get in. We're trying to get in a Wood Brothers boxing barrage come Friday night. Just to kind of hit on boxing in a little more in depth. I know you said you bought the last fight, back in May, the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, and was disappointed by it, which I was myself. But it was announced today, man. They're having some troubles filling up the arena, and as of yesterday, it was 2,100 seats that were still unsold. A lot of them being they had quite a few of the $1,000 seats, but the $350 tickets, I think they had a lot of seats up in there that were still unsold, and I think the pay-per-view sales, have been kind of soft. What's your thoughts on it, man? I know you may not be the biggest boxing fan, but in case I don't get that second show up, I thought I'd spend a little time on it.
Well, see, the last fight was so overhyped that, because you gotta think, the last fight brought in people that didn't even like boxing into boxing. Just because, regardless of who you are or what field you in life, you heard of the name Pacquiao versus Mayweather. You have heard people have this debate for years and years and years. And it's almost like you waiting on, for instance, it's my analogy. It's like people waiting, it's like diehard Batman and Superman fans waiting on this Batman versus Superman movie, and they get it next year. And it's not going to live up to their expectations because it's what they've been wanting for their whole life. So when you want things so bad, it never lives up to expectations. You know how you order something off TV and you get it and you're like, oh, well, shit. And the whole time you've been waiting on it, you're like, man, I can't wait for it to get here. And they get here and it ain't nothing. So I believe they just sucked all. The last fight just sucked all the life out of the boxing fans. It reached places that it wasn't supposed to reach. They did a hell of a buy rate for that one.
Right.
I never ordered a boxing fight in my life, and I ordered that one. But just like everybody else, in my head, I'm thinking, never again. Never
right,
again.
Right. I will say, I wasn't pleased with Berto being named as the opponent, and I did my campaigning in the Twitter world or Twitter universe for people not to support the fight. I didn't think it was really gonna happen to this extent, but I tuned in and caught the All Access episodes, and it just seems like Floyd really didn't know how to vilify Berto to get the interest there. Berto is 3-3 in his last 6 fights. I just think it was a hard sell. And, right now Vegas is putting together all types of packages and deals to try to woo people out there. And I'm not going to lie, man. If I thought my wife would let me get away with it, I would check into my pennies, and see where I'm standing to make a run at it. Because I tried to go out there 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, whatever it was, in September. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago, to go check out Canelo Alvarez and Floyd. And that was my first time trying to go to a fight. And I just didn't know the game behind the ticket game. And I had purchased my flight already and registered my reserved my room and everything, and went out there and ended up watching the fight at the strip club. So I'm like you. I've been on the never again thing with Floyd after that experience.
What hotel did you stay at?
Man, I was right across the street from everything, man. I was at the MGM. Not the M, I'm sorry. I was at New York, New York.